Madam President, say it loud, say it proud. One Liz Cheney may become America's first female president. A lot of people are begging her, run, Liz, run. That's what you hear the crowds chanting in the background. Every time you go outside, you see the bumper stickers. People are slapping stickers on the stop signs. They've got them all over their cars. They're waving signs at the at the college football games. Everyone is just begging Liz Cheney to run for president as an independent or some kind of third party. Because, old Joe Biden, he's a real old man. He's too old to be president. And that Trump guy, well, we all know what's wrong with him. He's too orange. The real leader that America needs and America wants at this time, it's Dick Cheney's daughter. I mean, we would love to have Dick Cheney himself, but as we all know, he's too old. Liz, on the other hand, boy, she's young and she's spry. And so obviously, she won't take votes away from Joe Biden. No. What'll happen is the entirety of the Republican Party will stage a mass exodus. They'll all abandon Trump all at once because they've just been crying out, begging for Liz Cheney. And they'll vote for her. And then she will become the first female president. Mark my words. It is written. There's no way that suburban soccer moms who clutch their pearls at the thought of voting for Donald Trump after voting religiously, pun intended, for Republican after Republican in presidential elections for decades, those suburban soccer moms, they definitely won't flock to Liz Cheney and abandon Joe Biden. They'll stick with Biden. And maybe some of them will vote for Liz Cheney. But if they do, that just shows that how popular Liz Cheney really is. And instead of winning by, let's say, winning 51% of the vote, Liz Cheney will just win 60%. But she'll definitely pull more voters away from that orange man, Trump, than she will from the old anti-orange man, Joe Biden. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. There is no way that anything that I've said could come to pass. Liz Cheney is a washed-up loser. She couldn't even win in Wyoming, her home state and her father's home state, a state which votes like 70% Republican. It's the reddest state in the country. Her father was vice president, and he was elected statewide before that. She was elected statewide for years and years. And the people of her own party in her own home state, they kicked her out. They said, bye-bye, Liz. Get out. Go to Washington where you belong. And there in Washington, she has survived. She has felt relevant. There in Washington, you've heard the whispers of run, Liz, run. You've heard the crowds cheer for her. You've heard the young Republican staffers all talk about how, gee, I wish I worked for Liz Cheney instead of, this dork Josh Hawley or any of these other folks up here. Boy, what an awful year for third-party candidates. I even though I never thought I'd win or anything like that or have a huge impact, I was intrigued. I was like, yeah, it's nice to see Bobby Kennedy Jr. running for third party, and then he completely imploded, and now he's trying to court the coalition of voters who are both very anti-vax and very pro-Israel, which, I mean, those people kind of exist, but they're all voting for Donald Trump, and it's not exactly the most logical position, because if you're a big, anti-vaxxer, Trump is Mr. Vaccine. But, at the same time, it makes about as much sense as being, virulently, Israel first. And those people are also that. And so, it's just not a very cogent worldview. 99.9% of the folks, well, I shouldn't say that, of those who are not voting for Trump and question vaccines, 99.9% of them also question Israel very strongly. And RFK Jr. is not, from what I've seen, taken a nuanced position on Israel. He's just taken a very overtly pro-Israel position, which of course is his right. He is allowed to have whatever opinion he wants. So that's what I like about the guy. You know, he does have his own opinions, even if a lot of times they don't make sense. And so if Liz Cheney gets in, I mean, will anyone even notice? Will she have enough, like, bandwidth of the public consciousness to even, like, approach spoiler territory? I mean, the media will give her coverage thinking that she will pull votes from Trump, I think. Now, maybe they'll get smart and pull her coverage and, you know, sweep her aside the way that they did John McCain. Remember how much the media loved John McCain until all of a sudden he was running for president in a general election. John McCain found out, uh-oh, they don't like me very much. But he was too stupid to realize it. He thought, you know, oh, it's this damn Sarah Palin. It's turned everyone against me. Everyone loves John McCain. It's just this Palin bitch. But I theorize that if in the polls Liz Cheney started to really pull away from Biden, the media would shame her into getting out of the race. They would stop talking about her, and they'd put a stop to her. After all, Hollywood made an entire movie, the premise of which was that her father was Darth Vader, if I remember correctly. And then I think it was during the Trump years, then they made another movie about him that was very favorable. And I think that was the one with, was it Christian Bale? So yeah, all in all, I think this would probably be a big dud. Might be somewhat fun. I mean, not that she would ever get enough support to get into the debates, though that would be funny, I think. Not that the debates ever mean anything. I mean, the debates are a bunch of nonsense. And I guess it would be maybe interesting to see Trump in a debate with multiple people again. Though, you know what? Would they even do debates next year? They probably won't. I think that Biden will take the high road and say, you know, I'm not going to acknowledge Trump's existence. You know, that's giving him too much credibility. I wouldn't dignify him by standing on the stage next to him. I'm President of the United States. Who are you, Jack? So, I think that's about all there is to say about Liz Cheney. Not just all I have to say. All there is to say, period. She's a thoroughly uninteresting woman. Thoroughly uninteresting person. So, with that said, I will see you folks back here tomorrow.